Whoa, what's that gone? Christ on a bike. Now it's kicking off in my ears. Get rid of that. You'd think after doing this for 6 years, I'd have got my head around it by now, wouldn't you? Hang on, I'll just put that screen back up. This'll do, that's what I want to talk about. And Sue's in here somewhere as well. There she is. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Can you hear me okay? Because the mic's gone off.
Oh, have you got one of them you stick on you or something? You've got a posh mic.
Yeah.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, you sound booming.
Yeah, good.
Not as much of a boomer as me, obviously. How's life? I haven't talked to you for a while.
Yeah, good. Getting on, just still doing my YouTube videos and everything, and I'm learning a lot. Really good.
Have we got your 10K
getting
yet?
wound up a lot. I think because you do videos, you do get yourself all wound up, don't you? Looking at the idiots that are running this country.
Oh, massively, yeah. It's I think this is about the 1,000th time I've done the BBC Spews, and you definitely need to take a break every now and then. I periodically take a week off, because if you just read, look at my video today. Now I've got an encyclopedic knowledge of criminal scum. I'm like Sherlock Holmes, he's got an encyclopedic knowledge of all the crimes of the entire world. That's what I'm like. Like, there'll be a murder and they'll go, oh, this guy was from Latvia. And I'm like, oh, you mean like Arnis Zelkans? Or like, I've memorised all the names of these stone-cold killers because we just keep letting the dregs of society in.
It's just getting worse, isn't it? Honestly, I'm just fed up of it. The state of the country. I mean, even around where I live and all that, it's just demographically changing. But don't you think there's been a speed up? I mean, it's tough us, like, where I live, it's like, the last 5 years, I'd say steady, drip, and then boom. And you think, wow, what happened there? It's just like speeded up. And I think it's what it is. It's because they're closing the hotels, isn't it? So what they're doing then is putting them into homes on estates and wherever they can find them, HMOs, army barracks, the lot, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know what I think a lot of it is as well, though? I mean, ultimately, they're not daft. They follow the news. When Biden took over from Trump, within a month of him being in charge, we had 1 million people crossing the border every month. They know that a socialist government's going to stop them, and they know a socialist government's going to facilitate them coming in, and a right-wing government's going to stop them. So that's what happens. They're not daft. They definitely monitor the news, don't they?
Yeah,
there we go.
Absolutely.
I think that's what's going on there. They obviously know. It's like I said to you, you can tell because Trump didn't have to do anything to slow immigration to a crawl. He literally, within a week of him being in, it's slowed to a trickle.
Yeah.
They just have to know that you've got the intention, and then they go somewhere where it's going to be easy pickings, don't they?
Yeah.
So,
Britain.
yeah, which is currently Britain. But that's what I'm saying. If they were in Britain or they're on the way to Britain, and there was a general election called, and all of a sudden Rupert Law or Farage got in, then obviously those people go, oh, we'll just go to France then.
Yeah, like they put the brakes on the dinghies.
Yeah, they're doing about turn and go, right, what's the most socialist country we can head for now?
Do a bouncer back to France. That's all it is, isn't it? It's just because we've given them everything that they want, that's it. And I was talking to someone the other day that they were saying about if Reform get in, that they're going to deport and they're going to empty all these social housing and what have you. And someone was it was in a group chat, and they were saying, no, we can't just do that. And then someone was arguing with them and saying, we're a sovereign country. Well, my fella as well was saying, we're a sovereign country, we can do what the hell we like. We've got to look at Poland and Hungary, zero. Do you know what I mean? So we can do it. It's just that they don't want to do it. And that's the annoying part, isn't it? Because we didn't ask for it. We've been voting for how many years now for it to stop? And it's like, wow.
It does my head in. I mean, it's not so much that we know, those of us that pay attention know that it's been going on purpose for decades now. But what annoys me is the argument. Like, I want to have difficult arguments. Do you remember me telling you, like, I get pissed off when people say trite things on social media, like I'm against cancer or something, like as if there's people on the planet who are like, oh, I love a bit of cancer. I put a plutonium rod under my mattress because I'm desperate to get a bit of that. Like, it really irritates me. I like to have intelligent. It's why I like arguing with, religious people, because that's a good argument. That there's the sort of existential dread that all humans struggle with.
Yeah.
And I've been flip-flopping on it my entire life. You know what I mean? I was like a chippy atheist when I was young, and then I got a bit older and I got more into it. And then I read a lot more theology as I got older, and I thought, oh yeah. And now it's something that I think about deeply, and I think that's why it's good when you have sort of Christopher Hitchens versus some pastor or something. But when people talk about stuff that's like a known fact, it pisses me off, because I feel like we're all wasting our time.
Yeah.
And the fact that, again, Millennial Wars, whose banner I always throw up because his quote was so good it became viral. Do you remember that one?
No. What is it? It's amazing how much leftist discourse is just them pretending not to understand things. Yeah, exactly.
That is 100% what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
And what irritates me is we waste 50 million hours a year arguing about things that they know are true and that we know are true, and yet for some reason people are still daft enough to sit there trying to convince them. I've told people this, like, if you're on social media and you're arguing with one of these people who's in bad faith, they always start the sentences with "so." Like, so what you're saying is, and then they say the exact opposite of the shit you just said.
Yeah.
I like, just mute them. Like, stop wasting your energy on people who are arguing in bad faith. People like Owen Jones, he's not stupid. He's a professional activist, so he'll lie, cheat, stab. He'd push his own granny down the stairs if he'd think it'd help pursue his political aims. So you just ignore him.
Well, I've because I've got like a lot more subscribers. Everyone's helped me, yourself, Paz, Silver, Fox, Ash, Preston Journalist, Nick Buckley. Everyone's been helping me to get me numbers up. Anyway, I was talking to them the other day, and I get a lot of trolls saying, "God, you're old, aren't you? Look at you, how old are you? Look at your wrinkles, look at this." And I'm like, I'm there. I'll have a debate with you if you want to, like, have a debate about something and talk about the post that I've just put up. And it's always men. It's always men. And I think, but I always put underneath it, but you've commented, you've watched, and they say, yeah, well, you just popped up on me. And I go, someone said, you've got a filter. I thought, who in the right mind? What man, Matt? I'll ask you. If you were going past and scrolling and you're seeing a woman, an elderly woman, and she had a filter on, what would make you stop and go, you've got a filter on that?
Well, I mean, it's at least it's like the gentle ones on StreamYard. You've got them Chinese birds who are like 40 stone and 80, and they press a button and they look like, 19. Who gives a shit? It does prove again, though, that all of the worst, most judgmental, hypocritical misogynists are on the left. Because they're not right-wing men having a go at you, are they?
No, they're definitely not. I mean, they're definitely not. And then there's and women, very few and far between. I wouldn't say it was women, but I was having a discussion. That's what I was getting back to. I was having a discussion with this woman, and it was about the leaflet, the manual that they're all going to read.
We'll talk about them in a bit.
So I was talking about that. And the next thing, she was throwing statistics up. Fix my teeth. About white men and British men that commit domestic violence. And I found myself getting involved in it. Anyway, I texted Silver Fox Dave, and he said, "Don't engage. You're never gonna win. You're never gonna get, like, they wouldn't get me round to the way they're thinking. So why would I think that I could change their way of thinking? So I just think I'm not bothering."
Yeah,
because
honestly,
did you bring it in, don't you? And you find yourself going, and it's dead hard. It's so hard not to go and do it back to them.
The longer you do it, the more use you get to it. Now I just spit my opinion out there, and then on the rare occasion someone's actually asking me a real question, I'll talk to them. But most of them, I just put it out there and leave it. Because most of them, they're pretending they don't know what you're talking about so they can waste everybody's time. It's quite ridiculous.
It's the algorithms, really, isn't it? That's what David said. They're helping your algorithms, even though they don't know it. That's how stupid they are.
Ultimately, we're all slaves to the algorithm. Like, my channel's been
should
smashed.
make a song about that.
We are though. Mine's been smashed in the last year or two. About 3 years ago, when my channel had 30,000 less subscribers, I used to get 1,200 people on a live stream. I think my record was about 1,300. But now they don't show it to anyone. So even people subscribed, they don't alert them that it's on. So I'm stuck at 200 now, which is a sixth of my audience. 3 years ago, when I had less people subscribed. So you've just got to crack on and ignore the numbers. And just stubbornness pays off. Yeah. Paul Jones said, our taxes are not spent on goods and services. Taxation is to reduce inflation because the knuts in charge are printing money for themselves. The Pumas are a perfect way to waste the spare money. Oh, yeah. I mean, none of them pay taxes, do they? I remember seeing a reality TV program where it was, airport. They have a few reality TV programs in airports. Yeah. And there was a load of Pumas going back. And one of them, they pulled him aside for a routine stop. And he had 30 grand in a money belt that he's taking back to Pakistan. Because, they want to do cash all the time. And they claim benefits and just rob everyone blind. He was proper threaders because they just pinched it. The government's like, oh, we'll have that. Yeah. So it's absolutely shocking.
What was his benefits for the last year that he's been here?
Someone in the channel said Boot doesn't use a filter. I don't need one because I'm Essence. There's actually a button here that you can press. Look, if I click it, if I put it on maximum, it'll show you, watch the wrinkles disappear off my face. There we go, I pressed it. Now I've got a shiny head. It's good, that, isn't it? The only problem is it makes your lips look a bit weird. Like when Henry Cavill got his moustache CGI removed on the Superman film. And he looked like that. It's not like, hello, kids. Anyway, so related to what we were talking about there, I want to show you this video to start with, which is we were talking about these people who either blatantly misrepresent you or pretend not to understand the argument you're making. So I thought we could watch this one because this was good. It's another piece from Sky News, and it says the women reshaping the hard right. Another word that means nothing. Hard right. Far right. I mean, they just changed these terms. Essentially, what hard right means is you disagree with Keir Starmer occasionally. That's what hard right means. But this is funny because some of the reshaping, they talk about reshaping the hard right. Some of the reshaping of the debate or the arguments that people make it is staggering. And I'll just let this play for a bit, and we'll interrupt when we get when we get pissed off enough to interrupt.
Over the last few months, I've been spending time with the women's-only groups that are protesting against immigration. But the voices that shape that identity, that are challenging it, are changing.
I would dedicate my life to this because my ancestors fought in World War II to save our country. And I'm not going to sit back and be demographically replaced and become a minority in my homeland.
I mean, the other thing your ancestors fought against in World War II was a political ideology that did class people on the basis of their ethnicity.
I want to start with that, right? It makes you think, right? They always reframe it by talking about World War II.
Yeah.
Do you? I mean, I'll just ask you as a woman who would be considered hard right. Is your plan to gather up every single ethnic person in the UK, of which point it's probably about 25 million at this point, is your plan to gather them all up and put them in a camp and then put them in showers with the Zyklon B crystals and mass murder them all? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah. No, not at all. No.
Weird that, isn't it? It's weird how, I'm pretty sure Restore Britain's plan isn't that either. It's very odd how all anybody has ever said is we should have a border control like they do in America and then, deport illegal people back to the country of origin like they do in America. Yeah. I really struggle with why that always gets equated with death camps in the 1940s. It's very odd, isn't it? This is what I'm talking about. So now, do you think that guy actually thinks he's made a salient point there and he thinks Restore Britain are on about opening a death camp? Or is he just talking bollocks to waste their time and mine and make us watch and talk about shit that is of no interest to anybody?
Yeah, and I can't see how we can believe it. I think they're just virtue signaling and they're saying the right thing, aren't they? That they want everyone to go, oh yeah. And they're trying to be these good people and they're not. That woman is a good person. They try and just spin it back on them as if that's cruel. You've got no heart. You're heartless. No, it's not about that at all.
And what's the cruelty? Like, they're going about how nice. Like, the lefties love it. Like, I remember when the Brexit thing was going on and these woke wankers were outside of Marks and Spencer's and they were sat on like a cashmere blanket. Like, honestly, it's like something from The Modern Parents or something. They're on a cashmere blanket, drinking French wine and eating cheese and going, oh, we love Eastern Europe. We love the continent. It's like, if you guys go on about how good it is in Romania, oh, we love the countryside of Romania, oh, we love it in Lithuania, what's the hardship in sending them all back to these places?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they'd probably just been in Marks and Spencer's to get the good bussies and the good wine. That's where they got the little picnic from.
I've told you, all these criminals, all these asylum seekers are from places of holiday destinations.
Yeah.
There's Moroccans, we can't move for Moroccans now.
Yeah.
And I made this point on a stream I think it was about a year ago. But there's actually a website called visitmorocco.com, and it's like people go there on holiday and they're like, discover the heart of Morocco. Look, there's one, the heart of Morocco, richly laid culture and history from the Sahara to the High Atlas. Okay, well, there isn't a Visit Middlesbrough website. Nobody in the history of planet Earth has ever gone on holiday to Middlesbrough. So if we can take asylum seekers from holiday destinations, well, then I should be able to claim asylum anywhere in the world. No, there's no website saying explore richly laid culture off Linthorpe Road in Middlesbrough. Yeah. I mean, in this day and age, the only culture there is African, so they've just replaced us there anyway. A friend of mine just went back and he was telling me how bad it was, and I said, honestly, there's a place where my brother and his wife got married, just off the high street in Borough, and it's called Inn Off the Park. And the last time I went home, about 18 months ago, Inn Off the Park is now called Africa Food Store. And it's just like a big supermarket that sells, cat's heads and meerkats and shit. Whatever it is they eat in these places. But anyway, I went off on a tangent there. Let's finish.
Yeah, but what we say is, if you look at the state of the country now, people would not have fought for this current state of Britain because it's no longer Britain.
These ideas are finding a growing audience. So how does that language take hold? What is driving it? This is a different form of right-wing activism with a very different image. Social media is crucial to finding new audiences and recruiting more women to the cause.
And when you have those posts that go big, what's that feeling like? Is that
it's good. It brings a lot of attention to kind of what you're speaking about, which is always good if you're in these kind of movements.
And when you say these kind of movements, how do you describe the movement?
I mean, I think it should be the norm, the kind of ethno-nationalist movement.
This isn't just the UK. There are similar groups across Europe. Lucreta is one based in Germany.
We have goth girls, we have more cutesy girls who are very modern.
I like the way he's confused about this and he says to these attractive young women, oh, what do you mean? Ethno-nationalism's like the normal thing. As if 5 hairy blokes from Algeria or Afghanistan or Albania are as much of a threat to a middle-aged bald bloke as they are to a 20-year-old woman. I mean, again, but this is what I'm telling you. Do you think he doesn't know that?
Of course he does. Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah, he's wasting our time.
And,
of course he knows. They're not really that interested in shagging bald blokes in the 40s, former bootnecks. I'm not that bothered. I'm bothered because I feel guilt and shame that children and grandchildren won't get to grow up in the marvellous country that we got to enjoy. Yeah. But I'm not physically worried about getting pumped while I'm out walking the dog. Yeah. I told you, I've started doing thigh exercises so I can clench my bum cheeks for an hour at a time, just in case I bump into a gang of rampaging Somalians while I'm out with the dog. I'm telling you, I've got good at it. What I do is I put a pen up my arse and hold it in place, and then I'll run for a mile, and I'm not allowed to drop it. It's sort of it's like my own exercise plan I've invented.
That's remind me of something that I read ages ago about Poirot. Remember Poirot said that little walk that he has, he used to pretend that he had a 50 pence piece between his his bum cheeks.
Did he?
That
Poirot.
reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Poirot,
Well,
yeah.
see, Poirot was a visionary. He knew what was going to be happening in London in 100 years' time. He's like, this is my anti-bumming walk. Thanks to Liam. Crikey, Stu Sutton's give 10 memberships out. Get them while they're hot. Cheers for that, Stu. Paul Jones fancies a gathering. Me too. Me too. As long as there's no bumming. And Joe's gifted one as well. Thanks for that. Right, so this is great. I love this. Baldy Sky News slacktivist doing what they do best. Let's see what Lucretia says.
But we also have like girls who like traditional stuff. We have Christian girls.
Maybe some of it and some of the criticism as well as to the sort of the branding, especially on Instagram, which sometimes to me seems to have a slight racial overtone. In terms of like white girl summer.
A slight racial overtone. A slight racial overtone. Yeah, like very right-wing nationalists, women are not concerned at all about the colour of the men coming from the third world. Of course there's a racial overtone. There's a racial overtone because unlike us, the foreigners don't pretend that white people are African. Like, have you noticed that one? It's really, really weird. If you're born and raised in somewhere like India, like so many British people were, thanks to the empire and the colonies, none of them are ever considered Indian. It doesn't matter if you were born in India. Nobody ever says, you know, there's loads of them famous ones, wasn't there? Joanna Lumley was born there.
Joanna Lumley, yeah.
Who else? Wasn't Orwell born abroad as well?
I think
I believe
so.
he was.
That's what I was getting. That's what I was trying to think of before, because I was thinking, like when they say, "Oh, well, the mum and dad was born here," and what I was listening to a podcast, and someone was saying, "The mum and dad was born here. So what would you do? Would you send? Am I not British then?" And I got to thinking, well, so in India it happened, didn't it? You know, you had generations in India, but when they decided you've got to go, you had to go.
Exactly.
You weren't classed as Indian, were you? Do you know what I mean? Just because you were born there. I knew that's what you were getting at. It's like Chinese. It seems that.
Idi Amin, you've reminded me, did I show you the thing that I always put up when Nick Buckley's on? I've got a clip of it. Idi, he says
You did not persuade me, Nicholas. You did not persuade me.
That's what, whenever Nick makes a bad argument, that's what I throw at him. On the rare occasions we disagree, he gets a, you did not persuade me, Nicholas. Because Idi Amin famously threw them all out. Yeah. Because Idi Amin apparently was cleverer than everyone in the British government because he could identify an African from an Indian.
Yeah.
And no Indian has ever said, George Orwell, he's Indian. He's Indian. He is as Indian as a you or a me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's preposterous, isn't it? So again,
absolutely.
Baldy's just wasting our time here. But I've started, so I'll finish with it. Let's soldier on.
You guys are doing at the moment. I mean, what does white girl summer mean?
It's also just I think it's just a pop culture thing.
It's a silly internet
joke. It's a pop culture thing, but I think that actually women or men who are assimilated, they don't feel hurt by that.
Like, I don't think people read that
And I
and think we want to eliminate everyone who isn't the white girl or something.
For all that unites these women's groups, there are still big differences, even within them. Some are more welcoming to what they see as the right sort of immigration.
At the end of the day, right, people that come over here legally, they go through the channels, they pay all the money, they wait all those years to get citizenships. Those people come here, they work, they pay taxes. They are welcome here. You know, they make our country fantastic. It's people that come over on a boat, that do nothing for our country, give nothing back to our country, expect everything, and then go out and commit crime.
I want to caveat that. Well, that's the end of the video anyway. I want to caveat that one, right? Because there's been a lot of debate on this, so we can discuss it. Legal migration is predominantly the problem.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't know. If you look at the actual legal migrants, certainly under Boris Johnson, but also under Cameron, Blair, Starmer, like the real problem isn't even the illegal immigrants. It's the legal ones, because our government has purposely done this in thrall of the political ideology, because they know that the inhabitants of the victim pyramid vote for socialists. It's a well-known phenomena. Elon talked about it at length in America. It's how they fully turned, and this is what I keep telling everybody, look to America if you want to know what's going to happen, because they're just 10 years ahead of us in everything.
Yeah.
All the arguments that are happening over here happen in the UK eventually. Yeah. It's all the time. Even with cultural trends or something, like, you know, everyone will be eating a certain thing over here, and the next thing, tacos. You go to England and they're everywhere. It's boring. It's obvious, isn't it? But what I'm getting at is... Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I was going to say, so what I'm getting at is, it's on purpose using legal migration to fuel their own political solutions, because California used to be a swing state. A lot of people who don't, you know, follow American politics as closely as myself, they don't realise that. Everyone slags off California all the time. California was a swing state. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a Republican, and he's always been a Republican. This was a red state. When I met my missus, it was a red state. It's only a dyed-in-the-wool blue state now, because they facilitated 25 million illegals coming in, and then they wait a couple of years and they get the citizenship, and then they vote. It only took me like 4 years to get my citizenship. I lived here for 3, and my wife was like, you need to get it as soon as possible, because you know what it's like. Trump might come in and you'll end up getting through out. And I was like, yeah, that'd be just my luck. So the second I could get it, I got it. That's what they do in England. That's what they do in England.
But that's what I was going to say. We're all focusing, and everyone goes, oh, the boats and the illegals, and the others are coming through the back door. The legal ones are all coming in, and we don't realise how much of an impact they're having as well. And everyone's shouting about the boats and what have you. I heard someone saying that they're flying them in now, like plane loads of a night and everything, because I don't know how true it was. I'd have to look it up. But it nothing surprises me now. Nothing surprises me.
No.
It's like as if they're trying to get as many in. And I was thinking then, when you talk about India and we talk about China, it's all right for them to all have an identity, isn't it? You know, the Chinese, we want to stay Chinese, but it's not for the British. I just don't get it. Why this little tiny island, Mong Island, what you call it, little tiny island, has to get the pressure of the world to say, you know, you can't stay British, you can't stay English, you can't say you're proud to be English. What is that all about, Matt? I don't know.
And again, there's no logic or rhyme or reason behind it. You can't make it make sense even if you try, because there's like, there's no... It's kind of like the argument I keep saying, where they pretend they're having an argument with you, but they know what they think. And they're never going to change their mind.
Do we just think that? Because my brother's got a friend, and they were really good friends at school and everything. He went to live in Brighton, then he's come back, and they fell out because, you know, my brother, he's like me, you know, hard rice.
Meaningless term,
yeah, of course. And he's a proper wokey lefty person, and our John goes, does he really believe that, or is he just winding me up? I don't know.
I think the true believers believe it, but again, they're only like 10%, maybe. There's not many. Most people are just like... Problem is, in the UK, most people just don't pay attention, do they? No. They're not that interested in politics. No. Again, if we had mandatory voting like they do in Australia, we might have had a right-wing government for the last 30 years. Yeah. But the real problem is the patriotic sort of nationalists, the white working class who don't think too much about politics. Yeah. You know, I certainly didn't during my formative years. All you're thinking about is going to the pub and watching the football. But, like, you are mega patriotic. You know, when I was 17, we all went to the pub to watch the England game. It was like, it was what you did. All those people, the pubs were packed in Euro 96. All those people, if they were made to vote, they picked for the most right-wing possible option.
Yeah. But so that's what I think. You don't think you're patriotic. Like, I'm a Catholic, and I don't think I'm like, I don't go to church. I'm not a staunch Catholic, but I was brought up in a Catholic household. My mum was. My mum used to remember the mass being said in Latin and all that. Anyway, you don't think you are patriotic or a good Catholic until someone starts like calling it. You know, if someone starts saying, like, my fella's Protestant, so if he starts going on and slagging the Catholic faith, I start slagging them. And I think I'm not even bothered about it. I'm not a bit bothered. But it's like that, the English thing, isn't it? And the British thing. If someone starts saying something about it, you will stick up for it. And I think that wouldn't anyone do that comes from this country, from this little island? Wouldn't everyone feel like that? But as you say, you can't make sense of it all, can you?
No, not really. It's a really, really obvious problem that we've cultivated in that we allowed them to take over the education system in the sort of 90s. And I think this is something that it's only just dawned on everybody in the last couple of, maybe the last decade, especially since Trump turned up. But the Republicans always said in America, they were like, oh, who cares? Who cares if they have the entertainment industry? Who cares if all these raving ravers in the pop and the acting industry are all far left? Or who cares if these idiot professors at these stupid liberal universities, I mean, what do they know? We control the real power, the business and the money. But what they don't realise is when most people are so disillusioned with politics and they don't pay any attention, that is the real power, because if you let them control popular culture, then you breed a generation of fanatics. Like these kids today, it was the millennials and the Zoomers that really started being like professional activists. So some of these kids in the 20s are mental cases. And they are true believers. They're true believers as big as Keir Starmer, who, what was he, a Pabloite? He's a hardcore left-wing activist, and he has been since he was a teenager.
Wow.
So that's the problem, isn't it? Is we let them do it.
Yeah, we have. And that's what I always think, like, most of a couple of my family members have like come to the bright side, you know what I mean? But they were what is it called when you're like, my mum used to say, my sister's like from the 60s, you know, like, oh, love, peace and harmony and all that. She was one of those flower power, you know, one of those. Well,
hippie,
she's not now.
A proper hippie.
Yeah, hippie, yeah. And she's not now. Oh, she's far from it now. And that's because it's on the doorstep now. And that's because she's now opened her mind up and started researching things. And she knows a lot about America. She follows a lot of American politics. But she's not a hippie anymore.
Sniper Sight said, put this towards Bootneck's Good News Defence Zumba video, compete against Jane Fonda. Yeah, I'll call it the Iron Ring Piece Challenge. Do this 3 times a week and you'll have a shit locker that's coated in steel.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. A flower for some jewels. Paul Jones said the evil globalist governments are importing a mercenary army. I think that's going to happen. Definitely. The weaklings can't fight for themselves. You know why? Because they've been doing it in Ireland. Derek Domino made a video about it. Just recruiting them all to be the coppers and they join the army. And it's because the Royal Marines, when I was a young lad, in 1999, when I joined, was 99.9% white. Like, there was one black lad in my entire commando unit. That's like 800 people. There was one. And everyone, he was from like St. Lucia or somewhere where they recruited him from. We used to call him Minority. That was his name. He was just Minority because there was none. And that's what they don't like, because it'd be like V for Vendetta. If we were there in a line with our guns and the government wanted us to turn our firearms on the people, you'd mutiny. If you were there and there's all these people starving and they're your own, you'd mutiny. You'd be like, I'm not doing it. If one of my officers told us to machine gun a crowd in, I don't know, in Liverpool, we'd turn our guns on the officer. That's when you'd get a mutiny on your hands. But you know who would be happy to machine gun a crowd in Liverpool? 28 Nigerian blokes. It's like, so they bring them over, don't they?
Yeah.
And they indoctrinate them.
They're living here by me.
Yeah, they're your next door neighbours. Yeah. I remember reading a story in Liverpool years ago about a load of Puma trackies who like moved into like one terraced house, and then the family down the road heard like noises in the attic, and when they went up and checked, they'd knocked all the walls down in the roof space, and there was about 800 Pumas living in the roof. You know, I always said, imagine that. It'd be like sticking your head up and having a look. It'd be like on Aliens. You know, on Aliens, where he's looking at the motion sensor and he's like, they're in the goddamn room, man. And then he sticks his head up and they're all covered towards him. That's what it'd be like, wouldn't it? I'd be like that with my rifle. And you look up and there's just 2,000 pumas. Like, you shine your torch on one and he's like, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually happened. This is what I mean. I've got an exhaustive memory of these things, like, because I've been into politics since I was like in my late 20s, I guess.
Yeah.
And the amount of times I'm just in a pub and someone says something, I go, "Oh, you've reminded me of a good one," and I tell them it like that. "Oh yeah, Google it. 80 pumas living in your loft," and they think it's bollocks, and then they go on the phone and they go, "Oh yeah, there you go. 2004. Ranjit had 30 of his oppos living in your roof above a above a terraced house in Liverpool." It's unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah.
But that's definitely what they're doing. Here's a good one I saved from Millennial Wars. Do you remember when we thought Tracy Emin? Remember when? See if you're old enough to remember. Do you know who Tracy Emin is?
No, can't remember.
See, you're not a sad bastard like me. In about 2000, I guess, Tracy Emin was one of these wanky Guardianista artists who took her unmade bed into the Tate Modern, and everybody went on about it.
Yeah,
remember that?
I remember, yeah.
Jogged your memory. Well, I seen this today and I thought, Christ, turns out Tracy Emin was like Picasso, because everything's gone tits up in the last 25 years. Why wouldn't the art and the TV and the music industry do the same? Look what they're calling art now. That is, that is a naked man with high heels on and a bucket on his head. And apparently that's considered art these days.
Wow. And we thought the unmade bed was bad.
So I said to him, remember when we thought Tracy Emin's unmade bed was shit?
Yeah.
She was like Picasso. Says Jessica Cook is an award-winning artist. Here she is in Brooklyn presenting her latest piece of art. It seems to be bucket related. She stands on a pallet and she spins a bucket round.
I've seen that before and I thought, what the hell is that? I never read it, when you're just flicking through. Oh my life, that is unbelievable, isn't it?
Look at television. Look at music. I remember Noel Gallagher said that the last proper British guitar band was the Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
He said that about 10 years ago. And it's true. Like, and they're old, that's the thing. Like, because I'm nearly 47. I think of them as like an old band, because I remember loving their first album and going jogging to it a lot when I was running on the Quantox when I was based at 40 Commando. So that must have been in about 2005 or something. Like, they must have started releasing albums in about 2001 or something. So that's 25 years ago.
Yeah, well, I always think, we always talk about it, me and my fella. I said, when they go to these cream fields and reminisce and all that, in Merseyside, in I believe they're brilliant, the festivals, and they go to them, they play the music that we listen to. All the old songs, they play all them. And I was out in the town centre the other week with my friends, pensioners' day out and all that. And we went in this pub and they was playing all all the old Motowns and all this, Temptations, Four Tops, Drifters. And I sat there and I said to my friend Joan, I said, that's an old name, isn't it, Joan? I said, what's going to happen when we've gone? What are they going to be sitting there singing to Kanye West? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it? I've noticed that the kids. My nephew's like 18 and he listens to like the Rolling Stones. It's like, you guys just got a total. It's just a desert of talentless drivel, isn't it?
Yes.
When we were kids, I might fall out with you about it because you're like, what are you? Are you in your 50s?
65.
65. Oh, because I'm nearly 20. All the people over like 50 hate Oasis, whereas that was like my generation. You know what I mean? Like that, I think definitely maybe came out when I was 14 or 15. Yeah. So I absolutely love them.
I do. I love Oasis. My fella's got Manchester, isn't he? I've been to see them 3 times.
Oh yeah, but they are brilliant. Like whoever it was who said that they're just a lazy Beatles cover band is just a trash left-wing journalist who didn't like working class scum from up north making records, because most of their stuff, with the stuff I like, is the proper rocking tunes like Shock of the Lightning or, What's the Story? Like, the banging stuff, they don't sound anything. They do have some poppy songs like Cheese Electric or something that remind you of the Beatles. They're obviously an influence, but the sound's very unique. It's like a wall of sound, and it's good, great stuff. And think about it. We were deluged with them. Like, we could reel off good bands from the 90s. Someone in the chat, Rag, said Ocean Colour Scene, they were class.
Yeah, brilliant, yeah.
James were good. There was Blur, Suede, Travis. I could reel off.
Don't forget, we still had our Bowies, didn't we? You know, we still had the David Bowie. We had Talking Heads. There was just
AC/DC.
Yeah. Honestly, and I just think that now when they go, because honestly, my fella was talking about it last week, because me daughters and that go to reminisce and they love it. But when they send me videos of them dancing and all to this music, it's our music. He said, haven't they got their own music? Don't they play their own music? How come it's always like the oldies? Do you know what I'm saying? Nothing's being made, nothing being produced, even when you look at the films, isn't it, Matt? You know, like everything's reproduced. It's like the Batman, not Batman, what is it? The new, what is it called? What's the new one out? Spider-Man, is it, or something like that?
Yeah. Well, Mark said there, look, AI is going to kill it. That's probably why they're not trying anymore. Like, do you remember South Park predicted it, the one where the kids are playing on Guitar Hero, and the dad's like, why don't you play a real guitar? And they're like, they're for old people. It's like the 80s and the 90s. I could literally reel off 100 bands I like from the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
Loads and loads and loads of them. And now we've got nothing. We've got nothing. Nothing good from the last 15 years.
I go back to the 70s because I liked a lot of Motown and a lot of funk, you know. Even back then, the Commodores had like funky music out and that. And then they went into the mainstream and they went a little bit crap. But I liked funk, you know. And I think now, wow, there's just...
Stereophonics. I had that band. I'm showing my age. I had that on cassette.
Yeah.
And I had it on my Walkman on a cassette. The first album, Word Gets Around. And I think I listened to it for 6 months. I thought it was fantastic. When I was about, 16 or something. I remember because I was in the TA. I did like 2 years in the TA before I joined the Royal Marines. Yeah. And I remember listening to the Stereophonics at like Strensel on a weekend. So I must have been 16. You were replete with it, and now you've just got total shit. And this here, this frumpy bird with a bucket, this is considered art. You know what's funny? In the 80s and the 90s, when I was in school, my art teacher used to say, like, I'd draw shit like that in the bottom corner there. They used to say my art wasn't art. I remember him giving me a D because I drew loads of footballers. He was like, that's not art. You know, it looked like comic book panels. He was like, that's not art. I was like, I'm going to send him the bucket. I want to send him the bucket woman and say it's better than that shit.
You should have stripped down, put a pair of high heels on and put a bucket on your head. There you go. You would be in favour.
Then he'd have been well impressed. Mr. McGovern, he was a wanker. His daughter was on the BBC, actually. She should become like a presenter. Stephanie McGovern, you know the name?
No, I don't.
Yeah, she should be a TV presenter. Right, we'll briefly talk about Harry, because I'm going to discuss this tomorrow with Paula. So I'll get your opinion before she comes on. He was busy in the States 2 days ago doing... I can't believe they let him lay a wreath. He laid a wreath. Look at the... I'll show you the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I am Sergeant Linton of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, United States Army. The ceremony that you are about to witness is the changing of the guard.
He was there at the Arlington Cemetery to lay a wreath. And I commented, look, I said, that scumbag deserves no such honour. When he dies, the Brits will bury him by throwing him on a midden heap in a refugee camp. What's he doing coming back when everybody hates him? And he told us, and his wife said, the whole country are racist and they have no interest in ever spending any time here or mixing with the plebs. So... What do you think the plan is there? Why? Why now? Why is he coming back?
Do you think he's just like, it's like a failed superstar? You know, when people try to go to America and make it and they don't make it and they have to come back with the tail between the legs. Do you think that's what happened? They just haven't made it. But then I thought that they wanted to make the life out there, just an ordinary life. They didn't want to be part of the royal family. So why is he coming back? I can't get my head around why he's coming back.
I think that's a good hypothesis. I think that he thought that there were going to be like mega stars in America.
Yeah.
And they aren't. They're universally ignored by people who don't like them.
Yeah. I think she was deluded, wasn't she? Because she'd been so popular on that Suits programme, which I've never watched. She's been very popular on that, hasn't she? And I think she's thought, well, if I go back there and now I'm married to a prince, I think I'm going to hit we're going to hit the big time. And I think, but that's the bit that I can't get my head around, because they didn't want that, did they? They said they didn't want all that, but then you can tell she did want it because of what she was doing. She was doing all them shows, wasn't she?
She was an actress. She was an actress. Anyone who was an actress wants to be famous.
Yeah, of course. And I watched a couple of which was diabolical, that where she's cooking and I was just like, what the hell?
Oh, it was cringe.
It wasn't even her place, was it, that she was there, and she was acting like they lived there and all that, and you think, what the hell? And then one of her friends had come round, and it was just like, that's something that we're never going to have. It wasn't to the ordinary person, was it? It was like, it was high standard, the way she was dressed. In your kitchen making an omelette, she'd have these beautiful blouses on and all that. And of course, get lost, you stupid cow.
She's a shameless climber and she's desperate to be famous. I've told everyone this. I tell all the female viewers that watch, if you want to be happy, go out with a plumber. Like this obsession that the Gen Z and the Zoomers and the millennials especially have with being famous. Everyone wants to be an actor. I read this totally brain dead take yesterday from this bird who was in a Harry Potter film. So she started doing OnlyFans because they're all desperate for any attention they can get. I mean, it's cringe. Yeah. And she said, I needed to start doing it because I spent so much money on the Edinburgh Festival because now it costs a fortune to go there. I was telling my missus this, like, you have to laugh about how stupid people are nowadays. Yeah. That used to be something where anyone who wants to do stand-up or something, just go to Edinburgh Festival, stand in a boozer and do some, right? Now, because every Tom, Dick and Harry wants to be famous, it's why 98% of YouTubers are shite. Like, most of them can't even talk. Like, it is something of a talent that, I'd say only like 2 out of 10 people can actually sit there like we do and just talk bollocks without being a boring bastard. Like, it is something of a skill and that most people don't have. But because everybody's desperate to be famous now, tens of millions of people are like, I want to be an actor, I want to be a singer. Doesn't matter if they can't sing, doesn't matter if they can't act. So these fuckers at the Edinburgh Festival have realised that there's an endless line of morons, so they pay thousands now. Like, if you want to go and do Edinburgh Festival and say, can I do a set in a pub? They say, you have to pay £2,000.
Wow.
And these fuckwits pay the money.
Yeah.
So exactly. I told my wife, I was like, there's so many stupid people, but who's not stupid? The people who run the Edinburgh Festival.
Yeah, exactly.
So apparently they're getting these talentless has-beens. She was in a bit part in a Harry Potter film 20 years ago. Now she's given them thousands to do some shit routine at Edinburgh Festival that nobody cares about.
And then she went on OnlyFans.
Yeah, and now she's smoking bloke to pay the bills. So if you want to be happy, reject this whole modernity thing. Yeah. Do what you would have done in the 80s. Find a job that you don't hate and do that, and meet a normal person who's got some virtues and doesn't just exist for booze, alcohol, drugs and shagging. And settle down and have a normal life. And I have to laugh at it, like these stupid bastards who go out with like singers. If you're a woman and you go out with a singer or a footballer, don't go crying about it when you find him in a Holiday Inn with Page 3 girl.
Yeah.
It's like, and that is exactly what Meghan Markle's like. Like, actors and actresses are the most vapid social climbers on planet Earth. If they weren't, they wouldn't want to be an actor. Yeah. And that's just the way of it.
I remember when she said, I didn't know who Prince Harry was.
Lying bitch.
Yeah.
It is. Her eyes lit up like gold nuggets when she saw him, didn't she? Because she was like, I bet I'll be able to wrap this thick twat around my finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cringe, isn't it?
Yeah, little change.
Right, anyway, we'll call it there because I'm going to the gym. It's only early over here. Yeah, I'll put your link in the comments. I'm sure most of my viewers are already watching anyway. But yeah, anyone who wants to go check Sue's stuff out, check the link in the comments. I will see you all tomorrow, at which point I'm going to let Paula do what she does best and talk shit about the royal family in numerous diverse and methodical ways that I've never even imagined. She's great. I'm like a dictionary of true crime. She's the royal family dictionary. She knows all that shit. So if you're interested, we'll be talking bollocks tomorrow. I'm sure she'll be sticking the boot in on the Ginger Prince before he even lands. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for coming, Sue. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Remember, be paranoid. You might be in your 60s, but a Somalian would love to horse one into you. I guarantee you that. So be paranoid and enjoy your weekend.
Peace.
Yeah, don't forget to do your anti surprise sex Pilates and have a good weekend. All right, I'll see you soon. Thanks for coming on.
Ta-ra.
Bye, everyone. Cheers.